Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you will find a description of the day's astrology as I have spelled it out here. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of the day's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Two of Coins or Pentacles. And it's here because it corresponds in astrology with the first 10 days or the first decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign, and pentacles or coins in tarot represent earth element symbolism. Earth element symbolism is really just about the physical resources you have in this life and what you're willing to do with them to create value, success, structure, and security in your world. So we come to the Two of Coins, and the Two of Coins is the beginning of the Earth saga, the Pentacles story in Tarot. Capricorn is our cardinal Earth sign. It initiates the plans and the actions, the work that push us in the direction of our larger material goals. And so, being at the beginning here and being in an emotive initiative, I'm reminded that it's important to take initiative when you have resources, okay? You can't just get a couple of pennies to rub together and sit there and rub them together, right? You've got to do something with them, and you can really build an empire, or if you don't want an empire, just a comfortable home for yourself from 2 pennies and a willingness to work for your most ideal material circumstances. And, work very much comes into it because it is about having a body and being able to do things with it. But, work is not just physical labor. It can be mental labor. It can be emotional labor. It can be spiritual labor. We have all kinds of ways of doing labor. The point is that we're willing to give of ourselves and the resources that spring from this physical body that we have in order to create something of value and security for ourselves in the long run. So when you have it, use it, okay? Use it and make the money with it. Build your resources, build your empire. Global domination, right, friends? Okay, so with that said, I'm going to shuffle these one more time and turn this over. Oh, we got the Five of Wands. Well, the Five of Wands is a fire sign, is a fire element symbolism. Wands are fire element in the tarot. And that's very much about drive, spark, ambition, and sort of the will to act. Five of Wands, Wands energy can be very restless and impatient. It can even be angry and combative, right? So you see 5 people here who sort of all have their own passion, and it looks like a little struggle for dominance or something, like, no, I have the best idea. No, I have the best idea, right? And I generally interpret this as a point where we can get slowed down on our trajectory. Five Wands, fire is all about moving forward. It wants to keep going, wants to get ahead. It wants to make the achievement so it can move on, all right? Fire energy does not want to sit here and play a sparring match with other people who have fire energy, okay? But sometimes we get a little distracted by, the naysayers or the doubters or the people who think they have a better idea than us. Sometimes we find ourselves in competition, friendly or otherwise, with other people for certain jobs or resources. And so, there's a tussle that comes along. And where do I see that? I do want to point out very quickly, though, that, in this picture, these people are all hitting above the belt, okay? Nobody's drawing blood. No one's getting hit in the head. It's all just sort of a clashing of passions, okay? It's a struggle for dominance in spirit, but not necessarily physically so. So where do we see this on the page today? Why, I'm so glad that you asked. For one thing, Pluto is a major player today, and Pluto can really bring the intensity because it brings transformative energy. And sometimes change is exciting, and sometimes change is fun, and then sometimes, something comes up and we have an experience, we come to an understanding that transforms our perspective, and that's challenging for us. It doesn't feel good. We're not very happy about it, right? So we can become stubborn about it. That's a very fire sign kind of thing. It's also a very earth sign kind of thing, but we can become stubborn about it, or, we can just really become upset and tend to overreact. So today, I mean, it's all over the page today. Today, the moon is square to Pluto early this morning. And when the moon is how we feel, and Pluto is that transformative vibe. And so if we're challenged by that transformation in energies, that transformation in perspective, that transformation in the way that we're doing things now comes about, and we feel challenged by it, it might be difficult for us to respond appropriately. We might choose to fight, to try to stand up for ourselves, or try to sort of gain control of a situation. Okay, Pluto is very much about the control, so it's very tempting when the moon and Pluto interact for us to feel as though we should get control of a situation, right? The good news is we have, this is a vibe that lasts for a couple of hours in the morning, and then we have 4.5 hours void of course today. So that's going to be a great period of time, sort of when the moon is between influences, so that we can connect with ourselves and with spirit about those challenges that we're facing, and that desire to have better control over the situation. Okay, it's a good time to meditate, journal, reflect, and then the moon will go into Taurus at 11 o'clock this morning. And that's when we can, this is a time I can perceive us being like, oh wait, what am I sitting here fighting for? I really just need to, slow down, settle in, and get to work on what it is that I started in the last couple of days. But then the real doozy today, friends, is Venus conjunct to Pluto. Venus makes a full conjunct to Pluto. I am not kidding you, 35 minutes prior to midnight on New Year's Eve. Okay, so Venus is very much about what we value, what we like, love, and can't get enough of. This includes people, places, and things. Venus is also a personal planet, so it's about our sense of self-worth, and it's about how we draw in the stuff that we really like, love, and can't get enough of. Where Venus is about partnership. It wants to pair off. It wants to be in relationship. And so conjunct to Pluto, so conjunct amplifies and intensifies both planets. They're basically in the same place in the sky from our perspective. And so, we would say that makes both of them shine brighter, right? You can't see Pluto with the naked eye from Earth, so that's not a phenomenon you're going to witness, but definitely the intensity is still there with that conjunct vibe. And Pluto is, again, that transformative vibe that comes along and says, is that really what we're doing? Because I have a feeling we should be over here. And Pluto is definitely here to sort of move you along, right? It's here to show you, like in relationships, what it is that you are, not giving enough investment to. It's here also to show you where your investments are misplaced. And it's also there to show you in finance. Venus covers love and money, strangely enough, because it's about what we value. It's about, what has a lot of worth to us. So Pluto is here to really show us, really shine a spotlight on what it is that we're investing in that is not really giving us a good return on our investment, and also on what it is that we should be invested in that we're not giving enough of ourselves to, right? What it is that we want, that we're trying to gain control over. Okay, so there is an intensity, and there can be some power struggles that come in, especially in our relationships, if we give into the scary side of this transformational vibe that's happening right at midnight tonight. Okay, so it is very transformational. Pluto is there to show us things and to put us in the right position for the next step. Okay, Pluto shows up and it's like, oh, you're over here and I thought you were going to be over here. Well, let's just move you over here, right? So when you wake up, when you have the realization, when you get to that point of transformation in your relationship to yourself, to another person, to your financial life. When you get that realization, like, oh, I've been coming at this the wrong way, or oh, this is why this isn't working, right? When you realize that, don't struggle with it, okay? Because Pluto doesn't care if you struggle. Pluto has all the power here. Just try to be open to the transition, the transformation that you're going through, so that you can, take it on with grace and hopefully not destroy any of your relationships in in that work. So that sounded like a bleak thing to say, but really, the fighting. First of all, friends, if there's any fighting, especially with a loved one tonight, let's just keep it above the belt, all right? It's temporary. It won't last very long. Venus will be conjunct to Pluto most intensely tonight and tomorrow night, and then after that it just sort of drifts off. Okay, so by after the 5th we shouldn't be feeling the effects of that. I can see like some fights coming up between loved ones and friends on a night like tonight. There's a lot of pressure that comes down on New Year's Eve sometimes to have a really good time or to do a very specific thing with certain people, and take some of the pressure up off of yourself. Understand that it's about having fun and enjoying yourself, okay? And really cut yourself some slack and cut your loved ones some slack tonight, okay? Because we're going to be feeling that power. We're going to start sort of questioning what's going on in those relationships, and sort of struggling for control in situations where we don't necessarily need to struggle for control, okay? We just need to be a good friend or a good loved one. And taking this together with the 2 of Pentacles. I mean, if it's a fight over who's going to buy the bottle of champagne and you can afford the bottle of champagne, just go ahead. Right? Take initiative when you have resources, okay? You can create a sense of security in your friend group, even in your cohort, in the group of people that you're with this New Year's Eve. Even if you are the group, or if it's just you and your sweetheart, or you and a friend, you can create a sense of security just by providing what you're capable of providing, in terms of taking initiative to make sure we have the things that we need, right? Look ahead. Let's have a little bit of foresight and planning, okay? It's New Year's Eve. If you have not made plans to go to a specific party that you have to pay to get in, or to get dinner or something like that, it's a little bit late to be trying to do that, right? So hopefully you've planned ahead, or hopefully you're watching this early enough that you can go ahead and plan ahead and get your stuff in order, okay? Set your priorities for the night. Make sure that part of your priority is your own safety and the safety of your friends and loved ones, okay? And just really think ahead in terms of what you value and who you value, and sort of keep that calm emotional state so that we don't have to get into this sort of fight or fracas, this battle with our friends or even with ourselves late in the evening, okay? Please take care of yourselves, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support you've shown this year. I sure do appreciate y'all showing up and listening to me go on about the tarot and the astrology. I love being here and posting up every day. And, friends, like I said in the last video, please be cool, Fonzies. It's a good night for it. Happy New Year, and I'll catch you on the flip side in 2023.